Chapter 42. I grab Melik and drag him somewhere I'm confident no one can overhear, turning on him before he can have a chance to talk. Alright, kid, 3 things. 1. I know you're not a Nora. 2. If you plan to stay that way, you're not going to tell anyone about my artifact. And 3. How the fuck do you know I even have an artifact? I've been hiding it since before we got here. Don't call me kid, he scowls. You're younger than I am. My eyelid twitches, but I refrain from any other reaction. Answer the question. It's my talent, he says, scowling. I can sort of feel where metal stuff is if it's nearby. My eyebrows raise. Whoa. Don't look so grumpy. Metal detection is kind of an awesome power? He shrugs. Sure, if I want to be used to detect metal my whole life. Which I definitely don't. So you're not going to infect me, huh? Not if you behave, I promise. I'm not sure if telling him our plan is a good idea yet. We stare at each other for a while. Melik has the same stocky build as his mother but with a lot more height to it. The kid, yes, I'm going to keep calling him that, is muscular and clearly well-fed, his skin heavily tanned from outdoor work. All of this irritates me to no end. Even after a few months of proper meals and constant workouts, I'm skinny as a rail. Plus, I have to wear a hooded cloak or my pale ass just gets sunburned. And, of course, as a, probably a 15-year-old? He looks older than me. Unforgivable. It's kind of weird talking to a parasitic monster, he comments after a while. I snort. You get used to it. So are you going to play nice or not? I'm happy to leave you and your mom alone, it's really not important to me. That empty face he wore at the meeting earlier returns. Penta also reattaches to my spine, having presumably finished her sulk session. It takes her no time at all to catch up on the conversation, though she lets me continue for now. I'll play nice, Melik says. Cool, I confirm. Then you work for me now. So, the other slimy folk don't have any artifacts of their own, do they? Your friend does. The, arrogant noble lady? Yeah, that's Penelope. I know she does. Anyone else? Theodora has some metal on her. I don't know what it's enchanted to do, though. I nod, thinking about all that. Alright, well. Thanks, Melik. Remember, you can't tell anyone I have an artifact. Not even your mom. I turn to walk away, but he calls out to me first. Wait. Why are you covering for me? Should I tell him? Penda nods my head imperceptibly. Really? You think it's a good idea? Another nod. I chew on the thought. Yeah, he might actively work against me otherwise, thinking I'm on their side. That's a bigger risk than the fact that he might be a bad actor. If he gets found out and slimed, well, I'll just have to be there to make sure the slime dies before it can give away secrets. Because I'm not actually a Nora, I hiss quietly at him. I'm here to wipe them out and free everybody. He stares at me in surprise for a moment, hope slowly dawning. Mom and I will help, he insists. No. You absolutely can't tell your mom. Why not? She's strong. If you have a plan, she can. She's one of them, I tell him bluntly. His face falls, but it looks more like despair than surprise. But, Nora copied their host's memories, I press on. Trust me. Even if she's acting exactly the same, that's normal for them. You're free because that slime ended up copying your mom's love for you, and she can't bear to replace you with someone else. Lucky you. But she's a Nora right now and I need you not fucking around with my business if I'm going to free her. Got it? He nods, blank-faced. Okay, so here's the deal. I can save pretty much everyone except Remus and that Theodora lady by myself. The artifact has a poison in it that can kill their slimes without killing them, but to use it. You want to save Xiang first. He finishes. Yeah, exactly, I nod. You know them, right? Like the real them. Can they keep pretending to be a slime while we set everything up, or are they just going to be a liability? Xiang is smart, Melik promises. Are you really serious though? This isn't some weird slime ruse? I snort with amusement. Not this time. You can come if you want, just don't act suspicious. Hopefully, the not acting suspicious bit would be upheld by both of my tag-alongs. I head towards Xiang's place. No time like the present. I have the recommendation of a 15-year-old, which, okay, may be a bit shaky, but in the absolute worst case I can let Penta control Xiang for a while. Besides, one way or another, I need that slime dead. Remus intercepts us on our way to Xiang's house, which I expected. That's where he had just left from, after all. He smiles as broadly as he can at Melik and I, waving as he approaches. Only half of his face can move thanks to his burn scar, but boy is that half looking happy. Hey, you two. Getting along, I see? Yes, Uncle Remus, Melik lies. Vida is telling me about the city, and I'm telling her about the village. Wait, is he your uncle? I posit, changing the subject since I don't actually know anything about the village and wouldn't be able to bluff it if it came up. I thought he was your granddad. Hold on, am I your aunt? Melik laughs, faking it better than I expected he would. No, that's just what I've always called him. Since he and my mom used to be on the same team, he's always been like family. Now it's just more official, Remus agrees, clapping a hand on each of our shoulders. You two let me know if you need anything, alright? Yup. Sure will, Mr. Person I plan to murder. I smile back at him, Penta assisting subtly in crafting the fake expression. She's way better at that when she tries, huh? You got it, Pops. I say aloud, saluting cheerfully. He snorts with amusement, heading past us with that wholehearted half-grin still firmly on his face. I keep my inner eye on him as he goes, trying not to drool over that huge soul the slime has. It will be mine soon, either as a revenant or as food. I can't wait. We continue on, and I spot Penelope chatting with the Metamancer woman, Theodora, out of the corner of my eye. I nod at her and Penelope waves back, shooting me the kind of smile I've only seen her make when Penta was controlling her. I suppose I've never seen the real Penelope make a face like that before. Even now, it's obvious to me that she's faking it. But I doubt it would be to anyone who doesn't know her. Melik and I make it to Xiang's door and knock. They answer shortly afterwards, looking up at him before glancing down at me. Hey, you two. What can I help you with? Mind if we come inside? I ask innocently. I suppose not, the slime says with a shrug, stepping back to let us in. Melik walks in first, and I follow, closing the door afterwards. I gotta admit, I don't know how to address ya, Vida. My host is a lot older than ya, but you personally were split much before I was. Oh, I wouldn't worry about it. I say cheerfully, walking closer and plunging 3 tendrils into their body. They only have a split second to move before I wrap their soul in death and pull. They waste it, and I tear the fresh morsel of life out from the slimy body hidden in their neck. Gleefully, I caress my prize, storing it safely in my torso as I rub it like a beloved pet. I haven't had a fresh, complete soul in so long. It's a bit small for a good snack, though, and I promise Penta to see about making them revenants anyway. Xiang, now the real Xiang, instantly flashes their hand into a pocket, pulling out some kind of concoction and chugging it with one hand as they whip out a knife and hold it to my throat with the other. Let me through, they demand. I recoil a bit at the knife, but try to keep my cool. I'm the one that saved you, I say as calmly as I can. I need your help to save the others. They glower, keeping the knife still. I am very careful not to let it so much as touch me, considering who's holding it. How? Xiang asks. Lucky talent, I answer. I'm pretty much Nora's worst nightmare. Penta wiggles, apparently considering that the understatement of a century. At least she's not sassing me verbally when we have a poisoned knife to our throat. Speaking of, Xiang withdraws their blade a bit, storing it and giving me a considering stare. Despite the wrinkles around their eyes and partially graying hair, they hold themselves with the poise of a much younger person. Remus is absurdly powerful, and though it does little to hold him back, it's clear he feels the aches and pains that come with age. Xiang's movements have none of that unwanted stiffness, and I could almost believe they were closer to my age than Remus's. The only part of them that seems like it's affected by old wounds is their voice. "Let's say I believe you," they hiss. "If what you say is true, what do you need me for?" "Remus and Theodora," I answer. "Those Nora are too old and too strong. I can't get through their magic resistance. So, I convinced Talline's slime to make a feast for everyone. I was thinking you could help her add a few spices." Xiang snorts, what I could see of their face crinkling in amusement. The rest of their body is still tense as a coiled spring, though, as if each muscle was still reeling over the fact that it could tense it all. "Can't cook most of what I carry. Can brew a drink, but don't have enough of the non-deadly human stuff. I'll poison monsters, not people." I feel outward with my senses, locating Penelope and Theodora. Penelope, on point as usual, seemed to have the other woman engrossed in conversation and facing the other way. I pull out the aerofil, showing it to Xiang. "Well, I need you to do both. This is full of Nora poison. All you could ever need. If we pour from it, though, Theodora will notice." "Ah. There's a conundrum. But get this in the first place. You're back, boss, I hope, after all, eh?" "Yep. And the others still think I'm one of them, which is how I plan to keep it. Anywhere safe I can pour this for you?" "This tough. Dunno. No midge. Shit. Okay. I'll go talk to Penelope, then. She's also clean." Xiang nods. Melik, however, looks utterly flabbergasted. Wait. He protests. "That's it? You just walked in and fixed them? No way. You were just with my mom, and you said, 'We'll get your mom when we get the others,'" I say, cutting him off. "She'll be fine another day. She should be fine right now." "Melik, do not." "Oi," Xiang butts in, holding out a vial to me. "Drink this." A glance at it, then back up at them. "No? It'll immunize you from the slimy bastards for a couple days. Last of the stuff I have. Drink." I scowl. Couldn't things ever be easy? Thankfully, I have a good excuse. I can protect myself from Nora. "Give it to Melik." Xiang shrugs, handing the kid the poison. Melik gratefully drinks it, then tries very hard not to retch. "So are you going to be okay, Xiang?" I ask. "We'll need you to keep pretending to be a slime in control of your own body." "Don't worry about me," Xiang hisses. "The damn slimes are gonna pay for thinking they can take my village." Okay. Just please don't do anything crazy without telling me. We're on a time limit, and if slimes try to run it'll get messy." Xiang tilts her head, giving me a considering glare. "For someone even smaller than I am, you sure are bossy. Question for you. That thing controlling Remus talked a lot about your plague by him, answer friend. Why use poison at all if you have someone like her?" I glare back up at them. "Her magic takes a while to get going," I half lie. "This is the better way. Just trust us, please. Don't make me regret freeing you early." Xiang snorts. "Girl, you're way too young to make a face like that." My tendrils twist and curl as I hold down a bout of anger. "I've been hearing that way too many times today." "I just saved your ass," I shoot back. "Quit looking down on me and show some damn gratitude." Xiang lets out a hissing chuckle, nodding. "In my defense, I don't get to look down on many people. But your point is taken. It just makes me sad to see, is all. You got an unlucky talent, and now you're forced to kill people at your age. It's a failure of the whole country, to let shit like that happen." "Well," I grumble, "we can agree that Vodka is a failure. That's neither here nor there, though. Your slime is dead and we have the rest of them to kill next. I'll go grab Penelope, and we'll work something out." "Poor bastards," Xiang growls, voice low. "I wanna get my hands around the neck of whatever motherfucker made those things." Penta perks up, snapping into control. "Made? You think Nora are artificial?" "I believe so. That or not from the island originally. Or both, I suppose. But the way they work, it don't make a lot of sense. They don't need half their instincts if they're possessing monsters and dogs. I'd bet my ass they're a fucking bioweapon, made for infiltrating human colonies. Penta swallows, her horror making my heart race. A sapient bioweapon. Yup, Xiang hisses. They are too perfect at that for it to be chance. Makes my fucking blood boil. They are damn children, you know. Scared, confused little bastard mine was. But we still gotta kill them all. Do we? Penta almost begged. If they can be reasoned with, then, nah. Reproduce too fast. Even if you had one or two reasonable ones, a single bad apple and they'll fuck it for everyone. S a mercy to end it, as disgusting as the is. S why I wanna got the fucker that made 'em. Doomed their own kids from the damn start. Doomed from the start, Penta repeats quietly. Maybe so. In that case, I wouldn't mind helping with the gutting, if you figure out who did it. Xiang shrugs. I'll let you know, but I doubt I'll run into him just like that. S a dream, nothing more. Now, we gotta save the others, yeah. Yeah, Penta agrees, barely whispering. She gives control back to me, and I nod. I'll be back, I promise. Xiang, can you take care of Melik? Hey. Melik protests. I don't need taken care of. I just keep looking at Xiang. Please? I ask flatly. They chuckle. Yeah. Don't worry Melik, I ain't your nanny. I got shit for you to help with. Follow me? I head out as they move deeper into Xiang's house, thoughts racing. Their theory makes sense, Penta whispers to me. I hate it, but it makes a lot of sense. Nothing in our biology is wasted or redundant, and nothing is similar to any creature I'm familiar with. It almost seems as though we're missing the bits that would allow us to survive independently. When you look at it that way, we're almost certainly artificially created life. How the heck does someone create life? Well, usually they have sex, Penta answers, deadpanning. Ha ha. I mean artificial life. Well, I'm no expert, but I would suspect you need at least a biomancer for the body, and an animancer, I finish. For the soul. Would that be necromancy or conomancy? Taking something dead and making it alive? I can only assume, but I would say that's the logical conclusion of both disciplines, used in tandem. The mark of a true master of animancy. Well, that's one way to get you a better body, I guess. Penta blinks. You can't be serious, she murmurs, dumbfounded. As usual, you know exactly how serious I am. It's what you want, right? A body of your own. You know biomancy, I know animancy. Let's figure it out. For a moment, I feel tears start to well up in my eyes before Penta drops control of my body, shivering to herself and the base of my skull. I wipe away the bits of water before we head anywhere they might be noticed, smiling to myself. Slowly, as non-threateningly as possible, I reach soul tendrils up around her, not making contact. I get why it freaks her out to be touched by them, what with our rocky start and all. But this is what you're supposed to do when a friend cries, right? Be it in pain or joy. Penta's little soul Celia slowly, haltingly, stretch my way as she moves them for the first time. I take that for the invitation it is, and wrap her up with mine. Finally, for the first time, I hug my friend. Chapter 43. Penelope and Theodora are still talking by the time I finish my soul-cuddling session, so I head their way. The wispy, tattoo-covered Theodora seems to be quite animatedly enjoying a nerdy magic talk with Penelope. For someone who's not that much older than us, she sure is strong. She's even more powerful than Penelope, and from the way her soul sparks and flutters it's pretty clear that it's due to one hell of a talent. Are you sure? I'd love to analyze your healing formations, especially if you were going to be heading back to Skyhope at some point, Theodora presses. Well, you don't have a biomancy license, do you? Penelope asks. Explicitly because I may be returning to Skyhope, I'm loath to break the law. Although, I must admit, I'm very curious if you know one or more masking formulae. Theodora's eyebrows rise. Masking formulae. As I'm sure you know, those are also illegal. But common, nonetheless. With a talent like yours, I'm sure you've picked up a few, yes? Well, I suppose if you'd be willing to part with a few healing spells, I could certainly make it up to you. Penelope grins a predatory grin. I'd love to, darling Theodora. And hello there, Vita. Do us a favor and pretend you didn't hear that, Theodora yelps and turns around as Penelope addresses me. I wave, grinning. Hear what? How are you two doing? Quite well, I should think, Penelope answers. Yourself? Great. I answer. Siong is super cool. Melik too, to my surprise. Penelope nods, getting the message. Melik is a sweetie, Theodora agrees. I hope the new Melik is just as nice. I couldn't help but be a little sad when Talene said she'd made him one of us, but I'm glad you two are getting along. The new Melik, huh? That's one way to think about it. Out with the old and in with the parasites. Speaking of the new us, I can't believe how much you lucked out, Theodora. Penelope coos. A magical analysis talent is the stuff dreams are made of. Penelope, that's a secret. Theodora whines. Skyhope will be even more all over us if they find out about my talent. Besides, it wasn't luck. We fought for the right to have this body, you know. Father put almost a dozen of us in here. I just won. Oh, well, congratulations. Penelope says with impressively faked sincerity. It should be fine to tell Vita though, yes? She's one of us. You should tell her about what you told me. Oh yes, that's right. Theodora exclaims cheerfully, clapping her hands together. Vita, I noticed some incredible magical patterns while you were inside with Siong. I couldn't get a good look at them because Penelope kept distracting me. She scowls playfully in Penelope's direction as she says this. But if that was you, I'd simply love to see more of your talent. It was like nothing I've ever witnessed before. She saw me use my soul yank through a friggin' wall? Holy shit. I spare a thankful glance towards Penelope, who is looking even more smug than usual. Okay, she's earned that, I guess. She saved my ass. What the heck do I say now, though? You're coming with us to the forest, aren't you? Penelope asks, immediately saving my ass again. You'll be able to study her talent in detail there. I think it just flashes every once in a while as she looks around. I'm still figuring out how her sensory abilities work, but my theory is that it's actually a form of kinemancy. Kinemancy? No way, Theodora remarks. She said her ability detects life. How would that be kinemancy? Have you heard about the kinemancy-thermomancy inclusion theory? Penelope asks, grinning an incredibly nerdy grin. The one about how powerful light mages tend to burn things? Yes, exactly. Some of them burn without any noticeable light, but it's still kinemancy. It has to be some kind of heat wave. An overlap between schools. So what if Vita was detecting those heat waves somehow? After all living things produce heat. They continue nerding out and I start getting increasingly lost. I wander away, having told Penelope what she needed to know and gotten what I needed to know from her. If Theodora can see magic happen through walls, I more or less can't use the Everfull so long as she's conscious. Which means I pretty much had nothing to do until nightfall. I guess that means it's Penta's turn. What, just the whole rest of the day? She asks, surprised. Yeah, why not? I hatched and haven't felt any weird, possibly self-destructive urges since. No promises I won't need something later, but... Penta hesitates for a moment. Well, I was actually going to say we should practice your cancel commands. I blink. Really? Well, yes. If that's alright. I've never actually cast a spell in your body before, and you'll need to become a learned mage if you want to. Well, you know. Learn your discipline more completely. Well, I suppose I was just thinking that my existence isn't illegal enough. Penta chuckles. Thank you, Vita. I didn't get to say it before, but... thank you. I needed some hope to look forward to, especially considering where we are. Yeah. It must be rough. Sorry, Penta. You knew you were killing a person, Penta whispers. You know it. You know we're people. But you killed them anyway. I'll keep the souls safe, Penta. We'll make them something better. You can eat the one in Remus, Penta grumbles. Did you hear what Theodora said? About how he put a dozen of us in her body and made them fight over her. It seems like a logical enough way to divvy the strongest bodies. Watch his eyes, Vita. Bodies aren't food for orphans, they are people. And fighting isn't a good way to divvy food, either. I didn't say it was good, I said it was logical. I never exactly appreciated the system when I lost, but if nothing else it makes the decision clear. The one with the most bread is the one you're too afraid to steal bread from. It's fair in the sense that no one can argue over it. The other slimes lost under their own power. Eat him anyway. Hey, I was gonna. You don't have to tell me twice. She chuckles, shaking her head. No, I suppose I don't. Now come on, I'll help you practice. The pair of us go to find Remus and figure out where we'll be sleeping for the night. He has a room prepared for us in Talline's place, so we head back there. Talline, thankfully, isn't going to have the feast ready tonight, and after confirming that we go to our nice little guest room and shut the door to practice waggling my fingers around. I sit down on the bed and get ready, trying to think back to that single day of training Orville gave me and trying not to instead think about how weird it is that I'm now used to sleeping in a bed. Let's see, how did it go? It goes like this, Penta answers, moving my hands for me. Oh yeah. She can just do that. I try to copy her, and she corrects me again. It's so much easier to get a feel for what I'm doing wrong when she can correct me with my own hands. I'm glad you think so, Penta comments with a smile. We should have been doing this forever ago. The spirit training was useful too. You're setting yourself on a hard road trying to be a polymath, but it's not a terrible idea considering how quickly you can grow and how long you're likely to live. How long I'm likely to live? I ask, trying to continue getting the commands right as we talk. You're friends with two Biome answers, one of which is absurdly rich and liable to get richer. Not to mention how huge of a soul you're getting so quickly. I would be very surprised if you died of old age. And who knows? If you aren't mauled to death by a monster or slapped into paste by fucking God, maybe we'll figure out immortality before old age can take us. Is immortality possible? Hypothetically yes, and there are rumors that mages on other islands have achieved it. There aren't any on Verdantop, though, at least that I know of. I frown, considering that. Do Nora age? How long do you have to live? I don't have the faintest idea. I only have myself to compare against, so. Ask me again in a year. Perhaps we'll see if my body changes at all by then. Well shit, now I'm worried Penta might have something like a dog's lifespan. Or worse. Keep doing those commands, she reminds me gently. You've got to be able to do them on reflex. Right, yeah. Got to get them perfect, no matter the distractions. Ugh, this is going to take so long. I want magic already. Penta chuckles. It's not like you to be so impatient. You're not getting spoiled by all your luxuries, now are you? How dare you, madam. I am and will always be from the streets. I settle back into practice with renewed vigor, ignoring Penta's laughter. Hours pass before we get back into conversation, but Penta seems a lot more engaged with the magic practice than she was with the spirit rails. She remembers a lot of mean tricks and nasty practice methods from when Penelope was learning magic, and she uses the worst ones quite gleefully on me. I'm getting the distinct impression that Penelope might have a few deep-seated hang-ups about whoever the hell taught her magic that Penta picked up on. Despite doubtlessly having heard that thought, she declines to comment. It seems as though she's trying to build up to some other conversation, uncharacteristically struggling with finding the words to convey herself. Finally, however, she does say it. I'm sorry, Vita, Penta whispers. I've been resenting you all this time, when I should be thanking you. Oh. Yes. When I look back at my actions now, After what I've heard here, I can't help but be disturbed. I've been frightened of your instincts when I should have been frightened of mine. I give her a light pat with a tendril, eliciting a mirthless smile. I have nothing to say, so I just wait for her to continue. Talene. She said the same thing I did, remember? I can't let my host go because she'll kill me. Which is true. The original Talene would kill her torturer if she could, just as Penelope would have killed me. But how hard did I really try? Her voice comes out in halting spurts, the girl in my head holding back tears as best she can. Oh, she'll kill me, I thought. I suppose I'll just have to keep her trapped. It tore at me, Vita. It really did. But did I think to compromise? Did I think to look harder? How much did I really try to find a way? It should have crossed my mind, Vita. To press her more. To give her more. But I didn't. Despite my horror, I didn't. And now, with you, I just want more and more. I didn't even care about the danger I put you in. Is that part of what I am? Or is that just part of who I am? Penta's own body, the bundle of ooze in my neck, shakes softly. Instincts can be insidious, I tell her. We both know that well. They are not just for us monsters, either. Get a man angry and he'll do things he'd never dream of when calm. What if we're designed to not let our hosts out? To never let anyone know, no matter how we empathize? It gnawed at me, just waiting around inside you. I hated it, Vita. I almost tried to kill you a few times. What? I know. I'm sorry. It was stupid, beyond stupid. Some of that might be your, aggressive tendencies bleeding over, but it's not fair to say it's all you. You're the only person that ever cared about me, but it's just so hard to stand. Sitting in your body and not taking control. It drove me crazy. Like an itch I couldn't scratch. It still does. I couldn't tell you. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. Penta. I didn't know it was this bad. It is. I fear the others may feel the same way, even if they don't realize the cause. Bioweapons. It just makes too much sense. I don't know what to do with this information. But I still. Like a wall crumbling, she dissolves into sobs. I feel her tears fall down my cheeks, the only sound in the room being gasping, ragged breaths for many minutes. My body weeps of its own accord, emotions not my own flowing through my flesh. In the moment, I try hard not to focus on how odd and freakish it feels. I try as best I can not to add to my friend's pain. I'm not sure how well I succeed. I still don't want to kill them, Penta eventually chokes out. Yeah, I agree. But we have to free the hosts. And if we don't, everyone on the island burns. Penelope can't stop Gladra if we fuck this one up. I know. Watcher's eyes, I know. Which is why you're the best option. You've always been the best option, our only ally, and I've just been. I let my feeling of understanding cut her off, sparing her from saying the words she'd find so painful to repeat. You're annoying sometimes. But I decided to save you, and despite everything I don't regret it yet. Can't I please just? She takes another shaky breath, tears still flowing even if less than before. Can't I try? At the banquet. I want to try to explain to everyone. To save everyone another way. Please? I won't reveal much. But I need this. I need one last chance. Can you bear to give me even more than what I've already asked for? As long as it doesn't get us killed or fuck over the plan? Yeah. And, thanks for finally opening up to me, Penta. She snorts, shaking her head. Don't expect Penelope to be so easy. And since I value my life, I'm not saying any more than that. Wait, this was easy. Penta just laughs, the sound genuine despite our still wet eyes. No, I suppose not. Now come on, we have practice to do. And tomorrow, we'll finally end it. Chapter 44. Eventually, I feel Theodora go to sleep. Penta and I sneak over to Sion's house, pour enough from the Everfull for them to do their thing, and return to our room undiscovered. Talene and Xiang work hard throughout the next day making the feast, though each for vastly different reasons. Penelope spends most of her time with Theodora. From the flashes of their souls I suspect they are exchanging illegal magical secrets and other girl stuff. The day is mostly boring, or at least as boring as an impending genocide can really be. With my part of the whole plan more or less outsourced for now, the best thing I can do is stay out of the way and very accurately tell the others I'm doing so in order to train. That is what Penta and I spent the day doing, after all. As boring as it is, practicing cancel commands at least takes a lot of focus. It isn't difficult to let the time slip by at first. I learn a fair bit, such as the fact that since my tendrils can touch my own body, I can use them to invisibly scratch my butt when it itches. It works even when I'm sitting down or my hands are busy. That's probably a solid third best thing about having hatched. Cancel command-wise, though, we make progress. Just not enough. Even with Penta's help I'm going to have to practice this for many months. Yet despite how engrossing it all is, as the hour of the feast approaches things slow to a crawl, my hammering heart anticipating the moment that will make or break our operation and possibly our lives. When I finally go down to see the banquet, I can't help but be impressed. Talene has set up a positively massive table in her home, making room for the nearly 30 slimed individuals around the village. Though weaker than me, nearly all the hosts I've yet to meet have something interesting about their soul, likely a talent even if not a great one. Things are already bustling when Penta and I get there, with a dozen conversations going on at once while Talene finishes arranging all the food on the table, complete with kiting utensils and fancy ceramic plates. The food, incidentally, is incredible. Though I can't spot any meat, there seems to be no end of delicious dishes the likes of which I've never seen before. Fruits, vegetables, breads, rolls, pies, platters, soups, sauces, spices, salads. I freeze on the staircase, drooling over it all until Talene spots me and hurries up to give me a hug. Vita. She cheers. There you are. This was such a good idea. Thank you again for this, and for, come on down. You've been cooped up all day, come meet your family. Everyone, this is Vita. She showed up the other day, and, Talene drags me down the stairs, oblivious to my rapidly increasing discomfort. A dozen kindly farmers are on me in an instant, filling my vision with warm welcomes and smiles. Sister, it's wonderful to meet you. I'm Aunt Vita, you're the one that will find the others, right? Hey, welcome to the party. It's wonderful. I heard you planned this? And no, I didn't plan any of it. I stammer. I just intend to kill all of you. Gave Talene the idea. I really didn't do anything. A parade of hugs and handshakes follow as I meet all the members of my family. I try my best not to listen, not to pay attention to them. I don't want to know. I don't want to know about my sister Emily, or my nephew Darnell. I don't want to hear about the parasite who named himself Casper because he's imprisoning a man named Casper. I don't want to see how happy they all are. They all feel so safe here. And the man who made it all possible for them. Remus sits at the head of the table, his slime overjoyed beyond words. To see this community he built prosper, I swear I almost see a tear in his unburned eye. Yet he didn't build it, did he? He stole it, so we're going to take it back. Vita, it's wonderful to see you again, Theodora breathes, the wispy woman approaching me from behind. I've been looking around for you, but I haven't even seen a spark of you or your talent today. I turn around and smile. Theodora. Hey. Sorry, I've been practicing cancel commands all day. Penelope has been teaching me, so, ooh. A fellow student of the magical arts, are you? Theodora coos. I wouldn't get your hopes up too much, Theodora, Penelope says wryly, approaching the pair of us. I'm not sure if she is the researcher type. But she wanted to learn, and I see no reason not to teach her. This is our haven from Vaka, after all. Let us trade our magic freely. Hear, hear. Theodora agrees happily, laughing like a wind chime. They chuckle together for a bit before a loud clap rings out. tallying, getting everyone's attention. Gather round, everyone. Dinner is on. A resounding cheer shakes the house, and all of us quickly find a seat around the table together. My mind wanders to Lynn's shack, wondering what it would be like for my family to sit and eat around the real table. I'm tempted to lay into the meal immediately, but I have no idea what Siang might have laced into the food. Siang stands up, ringing their glass with a spoon to get everyone's attention. I'd like to propose a toast, if I may, they hiss. To friends, family, and community. May we always be protected from monsters and men. Another cheer swallows the table, everyone raising their glasses in unison. Everyone except us. Penta shudders, standing up to get attention. Wait, she stammers out. I have something I'd like to add, if that's all right. Most people give us pleasant, expectant smiles, but the looks we get from Siang and Penelope almost make me want to grab my spear in self-defense. It's right behind my chair, just in case. A lot of people bring weapons everywhere they go, so it's thankfully not suspicious to keep it on hand. I just want to say, I'm happy. I'm so happy to see a large family like this, Penta chokes out. But there should be a better way. There is a better way, but we're not looking for it. Vita, Penelope growls. Not here. Not now. It has to be here and now, Penelope. We're all gathered here, and I regret ever putting those fool ideas in your head. Penelope cuts her off, standing up. Sorry, Remus. This one is my fault. I'm going to take a walk. I can't listen. She stomps out of the house, leaving Penta fish-mouthing long enough for Remus to speak up. You two talked then, I take it? Remus asks. Penelope has always been oddly empathetic towards her host. Why is that odd? Penta counters, looking back at him. They make us who we are, and we are trapping them in a living nightmare. Do you ever stop to think about why we don't find it insane? Because we deserve to live, too. Remus snaps. If it's us or them, why shouldn't we choose us? It doesn't have to be one or the other. We're designed to think this way. I mean, Penelope thought we were artificially designed. Siang agrees. I think we're bioweapons. We have to be. That's where we come from. We're designed to hold onto our hosts and keep them hostage, even when we don't have to. But instincts don't have to control us. If we put a little more effort into it. Put more effort into what? Remus presses. Into playing nice? Into trying to share. Why would the humans share what is theirs by default? By all means, Vita, if you have a solution, if you have something that will actually work, please let us know. Do you think we don't care? Of course we do. We just have no other option, and we're adult enough to recognize that. Penta grimaces. I watch through our eyes, seeing her flick her gaze around the room, taking in a mix of hard and sympathetic faces. No one speaks out to agree with us, though. No one has an answer. Even my answer, my promise, is a pipe dream for the far future. Well? Remus asks. Do you have a solution, Vita? Sorry, Penta answers, hanging her head. I guess. I have nothing. Except my apologies. I didn't mean to bring down the mood. She raises her glass, forcing a sad smile onto our face. For our hopes of a brighter future, then. Let's have that toast. Remus smiles, nodding. He stands up with his glass as well. For our hopes of a brighter future. We watch as everyone else brings the cup to their lips and drinks. I watch, with a hunger that goes beyond the displays of food surrounding us, as one by one the Nora die in droves. The weakest first, then the next and the next, the Nora's true bodies failing in sequence. As they do, one fucking idiot can't help but shout in joy. Oh watcher, I'm free. I'm actually free. Shit. All the still living slimes turn to stare, horror mounting on their faces. Poison, Remus breathes. Siang, sorry, slime, I'll be seeing my real friend soon, the poisoner hisses, drawing a knife in one hand and a pair of darts in the other. And for the record, I tossed all the antidote off the edge. It's already over. With a sudden jerk, Xiang's body snaps across the table, crashing straight into a shoulder check from Talene. Xiang, you bastard. The motherly slime growls, kicking at Xiang while they're down. Every time the poisoner tries to get their footing, another talent pull from Talene knocks them back down to the ground. How long have you been one of them? Remus watches the exchange for a moment, then suddenly moves. I can see him do it, now. My vision is many times better than it was back when his attacks all seemed like teleportation to my eyes. I'm no more capable of stopping him than I was then, however, and before I know it there's a hand wrapped around my neck. You didn't drink, Remus accuses, lifting me off the ground. You knew. What the fuck is with old people and choking me lately? I spit back. I feel Talene's slime die, and just as suddenly a dart sprouts from Remus's throat. Talene herself is alive but unconscious on the ground, Xiang bloodied and breathing heavily from their position on the floor, hand still pointed towards the dart they just threw. Xiang. Remus hisses, right before his eyes roll up and his body crumples to the ground, unconscious. Not before the slime blitzes up his arm, though, straight inside me. In a panic I tear into the massive soul, scraping to get purchase as the Nora physically and painfully ejects Pent out of my spine, taking her place. Instantly, my body is no longer mine, slime Remus's massive spirit making even his pathetic ooze body too tough for Penta to defend against. Not that she doesn't try, already fighting to worm her way back into my head and push him out. She's got no chance, though. And now Slimus has all my memories. You okay, kid? Xiang coughs, slowly crawling to their feet. I think I'll be just fine, Slimus remarks, grabbing my spear and smashing the butt of the weapon into Xiang's temple. What's going on? Theodora asks desperately, her slime still alive and in control. Who's who? What's happening? This is the end, I'm afraid, my voice claims, as the absolute horror that I cannot retake control truly starts to settle in. The end? What do you mean? His soul suffusing my limbs with power, the false Remus whips my spear across Theodora's neck, splitting it open. You're too strong, Theodora, my voice says coldly. I won't be able to restrain you for later. Sorry. Liquid gushing from her neck, the horrified woman raises a hand to cast, only to collapse unconscious in seconds. I know death is so close behind, she has no hope. Not with Penelope elsewhere. Where the fuck is Penelope, anyway? An excellent question, Slimus murmurs to me. Thank you so kindly for thinking about her location for me. I'm not sure why I can't access your talents, but it's no real issue. As pathetic as your body is, Remus was a man of all skill. You should have poisoned yourself, girl. As if I'll let you keep my body for long. My talents are mine, not yours. You will tire. You will weaken. You are nothing but food. I will shatter you, Remus. My body shudders as the slime feels my certainty firsthand. Yes, you're quite dangerous, aren't you? I suppose I'll just have to kill you quickly and take someone else. But first, that plague midge. Damn it, he's going to kill Penelope. And she doesn't even know what's going on. For whatever reason, she's all the way over by the bridge. Strength from the slime's soul fills my legs, and I can do nothing but rage and strike against the enormous power holding me hostage. Damn it. Damn it. And the others were even more helpless than this? How is he using his soul like that, anyway? He shouldn't be an animancer. It's not animancy, the slime snaps, indulging me as he runs over to murder my friend. Why would it be animancy? Everyone can use their own soul if they know how. His condescension just makes me even angrier, and I continue striking with all the force my tendrils can muster. More. Harder, harder. I have to kill him. I have to destroy him. I have to. Yet no matter how hard I strike, I don't seem to have any effect. Nothing. My blows may as well be a breeze. Penta fares little better, her body of ooze glancing off of the interlopers to no effect. Soon, Penelope comes into view. She's actually crossing the bridge now, though she turns to look our way when we get close. Slimmer slows me to a pace I might hold were I not possessed by a super martial artist, creepily shifting my features into an excellent facsimile of how I'd act if everything was fine. I quiver, disturbed to my core. Hey, Penelope. My body says against my will. Sorry about Penta, earlier. Why'd you run off? He moves me towards the bridge, Penelope's facial expression shifting towards a smirk. I wouldn't come any closer, if I were you, she intones haughtily. Not unless you want an audience. She points down, leaning fearlessly on one of the rope guardrails. Remus's old slime stops, my memories of the perception event no doubt flashing through his mind. It's far too soon for the mist to clear again, isn't it? My voice asks. Penelope just shrugs. If you don't believe me, go ahead and peek off the edge. How's Penta doing? Remus raises my eyebrow. She's fine. Since when have you cared about how Penta is doing? Penelope sighs. I don't. I'm assuming, then, that you didn't do the smart thing and stick her in a rat before drinking the poison. No, but who cares? I'm forced to say, screaming for anything else on the inside. The Nora are dead. We did it. Not all of them, Penelope answers, her talent flaring to life. I notice it happen, and because I notice, Remus notices. He hurls my spear as hard as he can, but it's no javelin. The weapon flies off course, gouging a bloody chunk out of Penelope's side before it careens down into the abyss. Though the blow surprises her, it does nothing to stop her. She finishes manifesting her talent, the magic taking hold. That would make you Remus's, then, Penelope hisses, immediately setting about to heal the wound in her side. No way Theodora can throw like that. I should have guessed from the bloody spur tip. Call off your magic, my captor demands, drawing my knife. If I can't go over the edge, I'll just cut the ropes to kill you. Oh, by all means, strand yourself on an island about to be torched by Gladra the Annihilator, Penelope answers cheerfully. The pressure in my neck starts to lighten, as the two Nora struggling for dominance begin to slow. If I'm to die I may as well, Remus slime hisses. Call it off. He is dying, too. I feel it. Whatever Penelope is doing attacks his body, dissolving and destroying it. Rapidly, he starts to weaken, and my tendrils find purchase. I squeeze. Shatter. How dare you presume to control what is mine? I lap up his fear, laughing internally. In a final act of desperation he twists my knife around, moving to plunge it into my heart. Just as desperately, I shoot tendrils out of my body on instinct, holding my own arms back. It's little surprise my spirit arms are stronger than my muscles. I'm so dumb. My soul can touch other souls in me. Everyone can use their own soul, huh? You fucking idiot. You were like this from the start, the slime cries, despair taking him. I thought you were my daughter. You murdered my newborn daughter. And you'll never get to see her again. His soul cracks, then fractures, then shatters into a dozen pieces like a pot dropped on stone. I lap them up, gorging myself on his broken essence. If I can stop people from reaching the afterlife, this is surely how. Good riddance. Grinning, I collapse to my knees, taking a few deep breaths and relishing the feeling of doing so on my own power. I never realized what being possessed is actually like. Breath coming, heartbeat slowing, I know it's finally over. Only when the aftermath of the fight fades away do I notice Penta is dead. Chapter 45. She's dead. My friend is dead. Penta's soul floats lifelessly inside me, like so many others have and will. She died in there, so I never even had to collect her. Her body drips down my spine, her little soul tendrils hang limply. She is inert and lifeless, waiting to be used like any other soul within me. I grab her, trying to push her back into the goopy form. I know it won't work even as I attempt it, over and over. One by one, my tendrils wrap around her, lightly poking and squeezing, trying to elicit some sort of response. But there's nothing. Not a single reaction, twitch, or change. Her being is in stasis, waiting for its ultimate fate after death. I feel part of me wanting that fate to be consumption, and nearly vomit. Vita? Penelope asks slowly. Are you alright? Of course not. You killed her, I accuse, glaring up at her. Sorry, she answers, and a bit of my bubbling rage pops in surprise when she sounds genuinely contrite. It was the only way to save you. When I saw Penta was still in control of your body during the toast, I knew this could happen. You needed to drink the poison, Vita. They were all supposed to die to the poison. It's fast-acting, not instant. Of course the stronger slimes would have time to try and escape. They just wouldn't have been able to if everyone was properly poisoned. Damn it. Damn it, she's right. I fucked up. It was all going so well, but I fucked it all up at the last second. Penelope sighs, walking onto solid ground to pat me on the back. I hate her. I hate myself. I should just reach up and kill her too. Vita, it's okay, she says soothingly, leaning down to whisper in my ear. The soul is safe, right? Do you have the others? No. I didn't have time to grab them. I feel Penelope's magic prod within me, grabbing the slimy corpses and pulling them out slowly. I almost demand for her to stop, but I know that would be stupid. Are they still there? I shut my eyes, annoyed by the tears trying to fall. Why does she care, all of a sudden? Yeah, the souls are still there. I guess I should go grab them before the Mistwatcher gets them. Agreed, Penelope says smoothly. If you keep a few undigested, I might have a place you can practice with them, soon. I blink, looking up at her. Are you serious? I thought. Can't the Templars? You didn't think working for me wouldn't come with perks, did you, Vita? She answers, grinning with self-satisfaction. I feel it, in that moment. She isn't sorry. Did she plan this? No. The idea is ridiculous. She's definitely happy with the outcome, though. She had a perfect excuse to murder my friend. Someone she hated more than anything. The sympathy she's showing couldn't be more fake. Her soul sings with such unrestrained glee, anything else is out of the question. And yet, somewhere I could practice necromancy. Somewhere I could bring Penna back. That bit of hope helps me push aside my grief for now, rushing back towards Talline's house. Penelope jogs after, unable to keep up. I worm my tendrils around my limbs, trying to pull with my soul the way I pull with my muscles. It's awkward, and I stumble many times. I feel it, though. Their strength working together. It's not something I could have done before hatching. Even now, as I digest Rumazlime's soul bit by bit, I grow stronger. It looks like there might be diminishing returns. At this rate, I won't end up as strong as Rumazlime was before I annihilated him. It's still a big jump, though. I'll at least be stronger than most of my team, in soul if nothing else. Bursting back into the room, I see everyone we left behind rushing to care for all the people that got knocked out in the fight. Someone had bandaged Theodora's neck, but it was too little, too late. Her soul floats above her blood-soaked corpse, right next to that of the slime that controlled her. Melik is trying to wake his mom, but when I walk into the room he and many of the villagers turn weapons on me. Melik is holding Remus's fucking magic sword. I raise my hands and surrender. I'm clean. Penelope just killed my slime, I answer coldly, spitting the words. I'll take the poison to prove it. I get more or less forced to drink the same stuff everyone else did, the poison aching through my bones. It's no big deal now, though, since my friend is dead anyway. People relax considerably after that, and though I get a few hateful glares for having killed Theodora, everyone here understands firsthand that wasn't really me. They don't understand it was my dumbass fault for not drinking the poison sooner, but I'm okay with not explaining. I collect the souls around the room, a plethora of goopy black orbs with human centers blossoming within, plus a double helping of Theodora's blue and red sparky spirit, one with just a bit of slime on top. Vita, Mom won't wake up. Melik panics, glancing at me. I give Talline a once-over. Her soul looks healthy and alive to me. She's fine, I dismiss. Penelope will be here soon, she'll wake everyone up. Wait. He protests as I turn to leave again. Where are you going? I have to go finish my part of the job. The number of souls inside me now is less than the number of Nora that were at the party. Others must have escaped. I killed Slimus already and have both the slime and human Theodora's souls, though, so at this point I'm just cleaning up. With my senses reaching as far as I can push them, I head around the island, knocking on or breaking down doors and whipping tendrils into the people possessed by Nora. One by one, I pick up the missing and the stragglers, telling the host to head to Talline's place so Penelope can get the dead ooze out of their necks. Afterwards, all that's left is a final sweep around the vast fields to see if I sense any more Nora souls. Out here, walking slowly through farmland, I am stuck with nothing but my own thoughts. So quickly I'd gotten used to having Penta to talk to. I catch myself trying to think something at her more than a few times, only to be reminded she can no longer hear. She's dead. How much does that really matter, though? I'm a necromancer. Using death to my advantage is what I do. I could murder a nearby animal and talk to her right now if I really wanted to. But only if I put a bit of myself in her first. Only if I force her to submit to me. In some ways, hadn't I already? I'd forced her to obey through violence rather than my talent. Why not the reverse? It almost seems like a stupid question. It feels like there should be so many reasons it isn't a good idea. Yet I'm seriously considering it anyway. It's just nice having a person that understands me. That actually understands me, probably even better than I understand myself. Maybe she wasn't the best friend ever, and maybe she didn't even consider me to be her friend. I liked her anyway, though. I want her back, and it isn't a question of if I'll do it. It's just a question of how. Do I make her a revenant, or should I just keep her inside until I figure out how to create life itself? Ha! I can't even imagine how long it would take. It might be faster to try and learn to create revenants that aren't creepily devoted to me. Although, I guess I don't really mind that aspect. Should I mind that aspect? It feels like I should mind that aspect. Is it bad for people to like me, though? Why would it be? Damn it. I wish Penta were here. Well, I mean she's here, but I wish she were alive. I'll have to go home and talk to Rowan and learn about it soon. I'm definitely looking forward to going home. This has been kind of a shitty trip. I wanna hug Lynn's soul. Also her in general. Sure enough, there is a slime host hiding out in the fields. They must have fled their body immediately, streaking out of the room to find an unpoisoned host rather than suffer death. Had I not been getting choked and possessed at the time, it wouldn't have been a very effective strategy, yet here we are. They are curled up in a vast field of grain, completely surrounded by tall stalks of wheat. It would have been damn hard for anyone else to find them, but it's more or less a cakewalk for me. I walk over next to them, feeling the slime shiver in fear. I just feel tired. So I sit down, right on top of the shuddering, slime-infested farmer that knows death has come. Hey. So, Mr. Slime. I can kill you quickly if you want, I offer, not really knowing why. I don't know if it hurts, or how much it hurts, but it's fast. The fearful face turns up to look at me, resignation filling his expression. I mean, we don't feel pain, he answers. Our real bodies don't, anyway. Not unless you're hurting our host. I nod. Huh. I hadn't known that. What I'm doing might still hurt, I admit. But, if you want, you can swim into me. What am I saying? Why, you'll still die, I clarify. I'm full of poison. But, why no? If you want to talk a bit without freaking your host out anymore, we can do that. If all you feel is my pain, then the poison's really not that bad. I put my hand on the farmer's neck, waiting for him to choose. Why would you even offer this? The slime asks, laughing humorlessly. I shrug. I don't know why, really. Maybe you will if you hop into my head, though. A moment's hesitation passes before I get that familiar, revolting feeling of a Nora swimming up my arm and settling into my neck. I get up off the farmer, letting him scurry a short way away from me as I sit back down on the ground and lose control of my body again. It's not the familiar feeling I was hoping for. This slime lacked spent his skill at allowing me to move myself while she was still technically in control. Instead, the panic that filled me when Remus was in control fills me again, and I nearly killed the slime on instinct. There's no need for that this time, though. The moment he entered my arm, he started dying. "What are you?" the slime breathes, feeling my tendrils curled dangerously around them. His voice is much deeper than I or Penna ever used it to be, sounding odd in my ears. I don't know. At this point, I don't care. I'm me. I'll figure the rest out later. It's nice to feel someone care about us, though, the slime whispers, staring up at the sky. Maybe all those things your friends said weren't so crazy. Maybe. But who can say now? We weren't fast enough. You guys and the humans both deserve to live, but you're the ones that were doing the torturing. If you're going to make us choose, then the choice is obvious, the slime agrees. The burden of a solution was always on us. Maybe if we had sought one from the start. Maybe. You never had enough time, though. You're less than a couple weeks old. Ha! I guess we are. It feels like we're all much older than that. Yeah, but I guess Penta was just a baby, huh? Who are you to talk? You're just a kid. Hey. You know I'm 16. It doesn't matter. My old host would insist that 16 years is still a kid. Your life has been pretty fucked up, you know? I can see why your friend was scared for you. Yeah. I feel the slime coming apart in my neck, his soul straining to hold together. You haven't done too badly for yourself, though, the slime continues slowly, voice faltering. You're not perfect, but you're trying. Maybe you don't care about everyone, but I don't really think you're a. His last words fade away as his dead soul drifts down into my tendrils. I give him a light squeeze, storing the soul safely before standing up. The farmer stares at me in a mix of horror and confusion as I turn to them. Sorry about that, I say. The slime is dead now. I think that was the last of them. What did you? I shrug. Come on. Let's get you checked out and immunized. You know Talline's place? Soon I'm alone again, doing a second sweep and taking more time on it than I really need to. I return to a rather morbid scene. Silent rows of people in line to get checked out by Penelope, flanked by groups of townsfolk crying out of relief, regret, or mourning. Someone put a cloth over Theodora's tattooed corpse, a safe area to burn her presumably still being prepared on the grass-covered island. Many folks hugged their families, embracing under their own power for the first time in too long. Vita, you're back, Penelope acknowledges blandly, her attention on a spell. Were there more? Yeah, I breathe. A few. I took care of them. We should be good. She nods, her hand still busy casting spells on the townsfolk. I'm going to start a large-scale Nora-targeting plague here, just in case. It should last a few days and die out, doing absolutely nothing if we've done our job right. Just as a precaution. Sounds good, I answer, shrugging noncommittally. One tried to jump in me. I need you to get another corpse out. Then get in line, Penelope answers. Right. I walk to the back of the room to do just that. A now conscious Xiang approaches me, clutching their ribs. You okay, kid? The poisoner hisses. I hear you're clean now? Yeah, I answer. Sorry, Xiang. I fucked up at the last minute. No shit, they growl. Theodora's death is on ya. She was a good woman. Yeah, I concede. Sorry. Xiang huffs out a raspy sigh. It happens. And you saved the rest of us, too. That counts for something. Technically I just saved you, and then you saved everyone else. They let out a cracked, hoarse laugh. Close enough. And if I'd been stronger or faster, the one might not have gotten ya. He's dead now though, yeah. I nod, glowering at the memory. Extremely. Good, they hiss, patting me on the back. Hey, Remus. Get your old ass over here and apologize to your pupil. The old man in question heads towards me, his soul as temptingly massive as ever. Remus has a sheepish expression on the side of his face that can show it, and it's clear from the looks he's getting that there's more than a bit of lingering resentment directed his way for bringing this crisis in the first place. "Vida," he greets me hesitantly. "Hey Pops," I answer, grinning back at him. He winces. "Please don't ever call me that again." I chuckle. It's not really that funny, but I do it anyway. "Yeah. Sorry it took me so long to figure stuff out." "You're sorry?" he protests. "Vida, all of this is my fault. If I had known what those slimes were, none of this would have happened. And I should have known. That's my job as a teacher and senior hunter." I shrug, feeling the souls inside me and glancing towards Theodora's corpse. "We all make mistakes, boss. I don't really feel like you need to apologize to me." "Then at least let me thank you. You and Penelope saved all of us from my mistake. I am proud to call you hunters." "Oh yeah. Honestly, the whole being a hunter thing seems so far away." "Thanks, Remus," I answer, my heart not in it. Talene approaches us next, hugging Melik tightly with one arm as he clings to her side. The stocky, muscled woman nods to us. "Vida." "Thank you." "Remus." "Can I ask a favor?" "Of course, Talene." "Can you take Theodora's body to Skyhope? I think you'll need another metamancer to safely burn it." "Oh," Remus says, glancing that way. "Of course. Metalinks?" Talene nods. "Yes, exactly. She and Melik would often. Well, the point is, she's doubtlessly still charged with mana. It's kind of poetic. With her gone, no one here can give her a proper rest. I know it'll be expensive, but I want to burn her as is. It wouldn't be right to strip her skin off and sell her art as materials. Even if it's a waste, I'll take care of it," Penelope answers, easily eavesdropping now that I'm almost next in line. "I'm already paying for the Templars who lost their lives on the way here, so I may as well." That causes a few raised eyebrows. "Templars?" Remus asks. "Dead Templars?" Siang hisses. "That's a story for our return trip, I think," Penelope answers, smiling. "But let's just say Remus will be meeting an old cataclysmic friend of his." The gray-haired man pales. "Oh, fuck. Gladra?" "Your old flame," Penelope jokes, eliciting groans all around. "Holy shit, she's so happy that she's telling puns." "Read the mood, Penelope," I snap at her. "That's rich coming from," she cuts herself off, biting her lip. "No. Never mind. You're absolutely right. This is not the time or place." I scowl at her. "Well, at least that apology actually seems genuine." She blinks, shocked. "Yeah, she acted it out pretty well back there, I'll give her that." "Vida, Not here," I grumble. "Later. I'm way too mad to have it out with her right now. It's just a pun, don't kill the murderer. I need her to not be immolated by Templars, don't kill the murderer. She can help get my friend back, don't kill the murderer." We wrap up soon after that, Penelope finishing her spells and clearing me of the last Nora corpse. I copy Penta's trick crossing the bridge, closing my meat eyes and staring upwards for the entire walk. Then Penelope and I return to where the Templars are camped, where they immediately make us drink, surprise, more poison. At this point I'm really starting to feel the stuff, but they assure us both it's not enough to kill us, even after multiple doses. "So, how'd it go?" Gladra asks, her voice as irritated as it has always been since the Mistwatcher tendril had nearly killed us all. "All of the Nora are dead," Penelope reports. "One human casualty." Gladra whistles. "Damn. I have to admit, that's pretty good, Vesuvius. Was it Remus?" "No. Then I don't care. Pack up camp, boys. We've got a town to occupy." The order to pack up camp was probably a joke, considering the entire thing is comprised of makeshift stick structures and monster hides. Someone among the Templars is apparently quite an impressive survivalist, but there still isn't much worth salvaging. "You're occupying Lisha?" Penelope asks, raising an eyebrow. "Of course we are. It's an emergency situation. We have to double-check your work, after all." Can't just trust the word of a pair of newbie hunters. And when will the occupation of Lish end? Penelope asks. Gladra just pops up her visor to grin at us and walks away. I'm not nice enough to not appreciate seeing Penelope pissed off for the first time since all this went down, even if I know this is probably, well, bad. Well, at least it will get the High Templar off our back for a while, Penelope comments, scowling. A few hours later, Remus crosses the bridge to join us, carrying what I can somehow feel is Theodora's body. Do I have a corpse sense now, or does it have to do with the fact that I have Theodora's soul with me? Either way, I'm also surprised to see Xiang following him, looking extra grim. Are you coming back to Skyhope with us, Xiang? I ask. They grunt in annoyance. Like fuck, I'm staying in the same town as Gladra, they hiss venomously. Besides, I'll need more time to berate Remus for screwing us this bad. They punch him in the arm, though Remus doesn't even flinch at the impact. He's still wearing the casual clothes he had on in the village, though from his massive backpack I assume he's bringing his armor with him. I don't see his sword anywhere, though. Where's your weapon? I ask. The Templars confiscated it, Remus answers glumly. I can't really argue that I deserve to keep it, even if it is just Gladra being petty. You guys don't like Lady Carthela either, huh? I ask. Xiang pulls down on their huge collar, revealing their face. From the lips all the way down the throat, to what appears to extend down onto the chest and beyond, Xiang is a mess of hideous, permanently swollen scar tissue. A mess of huge red lumps and mole-shapen skin. It seems hard to believe they even survived whatever fire did that to them. Fuck Gladra, Xiang hisses again, putting their color back in place. Remus scratches at the burnt half of his own face, looking more sad than furious, but he nods his agreement. Anyway, we should be off. Thanks again, you two. I have been considerably humbled. No shit, Xiang growls. Read the fucking books next time, you idiot. I supplied most of the information in those books, Remus grumbles. Clearly not all of it. The two friends bicker on the way home as I settle in for a long walk. As it turns out, one of the first things we're going to need to do when we get home is what Slimus wanted to do, albeit with the objective of killing the other Nora in the forest rather than save them. They have to be cleared out to the best of the guild's ability, and stricter protocols against Nora invasion will likely be in effect for years after this event. The chance that the public will be told any of what happened to our team in Lisha village, however, is pretty much zero. Penelope and I are expected to keep mum on the subject. Perhaps even worse, my name will be going into a lot of secret records. Templars, nobles, and possibly even the king would read a bland report on my talents. Eyes are on me now, and even if it's only in a small way, it's the last thing I want when I'm trying to pretend to not be a necromancer. Penelope, annoyingly, has set herself up as my best lifeline. Being a servant of her house affords me the assumption that someone is probably handling me, and at the very least that someone would be annoyed if people got into their business. Noble politics, apparently. The trip home isn't too eventful. We're actually attacked by a pretty big monster once, but Remus and Xiang got it before Penelope and I can even do anything. It's quickly turned into a nice snack, both physically and spiritually. There's not much to do or say, and soon enough the days pass and we make it back to Skyhope. There is, of course, one place I rush to first when I return. Home. Home to Lynn, to Rowan, to the kids and the Shock. I have food to buy, hugs to give, and things to talk about. Many, many things to talk about. Chapter 46. What do you mean there's nothing in front of us? Buldreg asks. How is that ambiguous? Ivan draws back. There's nothing in front of us. No movement. Some wind and that's it. Nothing triggers my danger sense in that direction either, Fulvia confirms. It's as blank as good farmland. What the actual fuck? Buldreg swears quietly. Does anybody here know what that means? I'm telling ya, it's a fungus plague, Ivan insists. Spore canisters. We're gonna walk in there, inhale something bad, and then fucking die. Well, that's what we have Clar ready for, Buldreg answers. Claretta? All eyes swing my way. I shrug. You're all as fungicidal as I can make you, I insist for probably the 5th time. I still haven't detected a hint of it, but at this point I hope it's spores. We're best equipped for that, since Ivan never shuts up about it. Ivan flips me a nasty hand sign and I smirk back at him. As the team's biomancer, I've saved their lives several dozen times and they know better than to backsass me too much. Buldreg heads in first, the team's defender and leader. Tall and broad-shouldered, with a face entirely hidden by a bushy black beard, the dual-talented bastard can move crazy fast and shrug off blows that would kill anyone else. He excels at drawing attention or moving to back the rest of us up wherever he's needed. Ivan and Fulvia both scout, with Ivan working as our main long-range offense in combat with his neticism and Fulvia just using her massive goddamn maze. She tends to mostly be a distraction against smaller, quicker enemies, but holy shit there's no one better when a big motherfucker starts charging at you from between the trees. Ivan's always been the runt of the group, pale, thin, and even shorter than I am. While Fulvia isn't much taller, we don't tell her that to her face. Her insane strength is all talent-based, letting her crush things far larger than her thin frame would imply. I'm actually almost as tall as Buldreg, sporting short-cropped blonde hair and a freckled face that other people seem to like a lot more than I do. All of us wear light armor except Fulvia, who's strong enough to wear full Kadian plate without getting slowed down. We're all hunters, naturally, sent to investigate the drop zone of those black orbs Heveric dumped on us. Slowly we follow Ivan in, the forest eerily silent around us as we make our way towards the center of whatever is causing this disturbance. Magic enchantments on my allies keep me constantly aware of changes to their health, which should alert me instantly if some amount of toxin or contaminant is introduced. At least in theory. The plants around here seem unaffected by whatever caused this utter lack of animal life, the slight rustle of wind flowing through the top branches being the only sound other than our own footsteps. I see something, Buldreg whispers. I still feel nothing, Ivan answers. Same. Fulvia confirms. Could be a corpse, then. Let's check it out. We approach cautiously, Ivan firing a pellet into the creature's head to no reaction. Sure enough, a corpse is exactly what it is. An inky black creature the likes of which I've never seen lies dead on the forest floor, with 2 bladed forelimbs and 2 raptor-like hindlimbs. Its mouth hangs open, with even its sharp, curved teeth and tongue the same pitch-dark color as the rest of its body. Yet perhaps most notably, why wasn't the corpse eaten? I wonder, prompting a few nods from my teammates. The monster was bitten in quite a few places, having most likely died of blood loss. But whatever bit it to death didn't eat it afterwards. Why? Why kill it and just leave it here? Maybe it's poisonous. Ivan ponders. If it's bad enough to ward off creatures from the area we'd see other corpses around it, Fulvia insists. Do we burn it? I ask, turning to Buldreg. He shakes his head. No, it would have risen by now if it was going to. I don't want to risk toxic smoke, either. We nod in agreement, getting back information to move out. More and more black creature corpses litter the ground as we get closer to the center of the dead zone, though each looks different from the last. Some have 4 limbs, some have 6 or 8. Most are chitin covered, though many of fur or just night-like skin. These dark creatures are far from the only corpses around, too. Countless dead monsters of known varieties are strewn about, each having been injured just enough to die, then left to rot. I don't like this. I don't like this at all. The whole team is aware that stomping headfirst into an unknown situation this deep into the forest will likely be the death of us. Yet that is exactly what we're here to do. We're hunters. We walk into an unexpected clearing, or at least what will be a clearing for the short time before the forest reclaims it. A devastating scene of destruction lies around us, trees smashed and toppled, corpses strewn everywhere. Most notably, in the center of it all are the remains of the black ovoids dropped by Heveric. Each one is broken, either from the fall, or from within. Eggs, I hiss. Fulvia wins the bet. Fuck yeah I do, she murmurs. But also, shit. Hey, At least it's not spores, Ivan comments wryly. Wildreg thinks for a while, examining the haphazard pyramid of dropped eggs formed from the fall. The black creatures definitely hatched from them, many corpses hanging limply from partially shattered shells as they burst on impact. The sheer number here is massive, creating a towering structure of loosely stacked ovoids. Hundreds, if not thousands of these creatures must have been released into the surrounding forest, slaughtering everything in their path. We're going to cut towards Valyala, Wildreg decides. It's the closest decently sized town. If these monsters are going to be a problem, they'll need to know first. We nod in confirmation, setting back out on high alert. The dead zone seems to hold no further surprises for us, and it's almost with trepidation that we leave it, heading aftward. From there, it's the usual slog, avoiding confrontation as we trek through the deadly forest. The first time we encounter a living specimen of the black creatures, the fight is surprisingly straightforward. Large and ravenous, a massive centipede-like monster rushes directly at us, lacking any apparent thought or subtlety. Wildreg holds it back as Fulvia makes quick work of it. It's just like any other monster, it seems. We continue on, easily dispatching most of the creatures we encounter, but taking care to avoid anything that makes either of our two scouts nervous. Each and every inky black beast we stumble on seems ravenously aggressive, barreling towards us on first detection with no thought of self-defense or caution. We try to keep clear of all such creatures. Though there are far fewer things roaming the forest than we're used to, the number of remaining monsters that Fulvia insists are out of our weight class is abnormally high. Still, we press on, managing to avoid major dangers, at least for now. Hold up, Ivan suddenly whispers, causing us to freeze. I feel nestweaver threads. Fulvia scowls. I don't feel anything that could be nestweavers, though. Yeah, me neither, Ivan agrees. But I'm feeling a lot of threads. Like there was a broodmother here or something. Fulvia and Ivan working in tandem has always been a dream team for our ability to scout threats. Fulvia uses a classic danger sense, but Ivan uses kineticism to feel for movement. While he generally lacks the ability to pick up on fine details, nestweaver threads were a priority to learn the air patterns for, and he learned them well. Nestweaver, naturally, is just the official term for one of the many kinds of giant fucking spiders. While most of them don't grow beyond my knees, certain kinds of nestweavers can get enormous, and broodmothers can be a city-destroying threat. I don't groan out loud, but we all know those awful words are coming. We'll have to go check it out, Wildreg sighs. Point the way, Ivan. He does, and our course changes slightly as Ivan points out hidden threads or simply cuts them down with magic. As we travel, the nestweaver presence becomes more and more obvious, with huge thread-made structures lining the trees that give the creatures their name. Soon, though, we start seeing the corpses. It's like the dead zone, Wildreg murmurs. It's worse than the dead zone, I answer. Laid out before us, many creatures are trapped in webs, all dead. All of them have had their limbs bitten off in a startling display of inefficiency, like some monster was trying to keep them alive as long as possible while it tormented them, leaving the corpses to attract more prey into traps once the victims finally died. I share this opinion with the team, to their distress. Are you sure, Claretta? Wildreg insists. If that's true, we're dealing with something that has a degree of intelligence. I don't see any other reason the creature would eat the limbs first. Most of a body's nutrients are going to be in the organs. The wounds are definitely from bites though, and the lack of limbs strewn around implies they are being swallowed. Back in the kill zone, the bites were all over the place, Ivan comments. Here, they are just on limbs. What the fuck is happening? Shut up, Fulvia snaps. Something's coming. Midweek. We tense, getting ready to strike. Slowly, one of the black creatures pokes out from behind a tree, peering curiously. This one has 6 legs, yet attached to a more mammal-like torso about the size of a child's. Its 4 front legs taper into points, while its back two are thick, with coiled muscles that seem specialized for jumping. The creature tilts its head at us, and after we briefly stare each other down it turns and retreats back into the forest. Where's it going? Bulldreg asks. Circling, Ivan mutters back. Shoot it, Bulldreg orders. Ivan does exactly that, pulling a pellet from his pouch and firing it somewhere in the underbrush beyond where I can see. I got a glancing hit. It's running off. Good, Bulldreg nods. Let's keep going. We continue making slow progress, bit by bit, until Fulvia suddenly calls out. To incoming fast. One's way too strong. Shit. Bulldreg curses. Retreat. Fulvia points a direction and we hoof it fast that way, but she immediately starts swearing again. Still incoming. Turning to follow us. Fuck, fuck, fuck. About face, intercept. I sprint past Bulldreg as we rapidly reverse formation, turning around just in time to see the little shit we shot at just a few minutes ago rushing at us with an absolutely massive creature snapping at it from behind. Though the small monster's head and face are more insect-like than human, I swear the damn thing is grinning. Then it jukes past us, and the big monster hits. It's another dark one, a lumbering, four-legged beast with two thick, club-like arms. Roaring madly at us, it immediately swaps targets to our team when the little thing runs past us by simple virtue of us being closer. As it swings an arm down, Bulldreg steps to the side, giving Fulvia an opening to land a crushing blow while Ivan magically fires more pellets with twice the force of a bow. I, for my part, start singing. Though I'm a biomancer by trade, the talent I was born with is actually metamancy. I understand the complex flows of magic far more easily when manipulating them with my voice than with my hands, and oftentimes instinctively find myself tweaking the structure of spells as I cast them to vary the effects into more beautiful patterns. I can literally heal people with songs, although personally I prefer the upbeat tune that heightens my team's reflexes and perceptions. Bow in hand, I contribute to our gruesome work as my breath flows with music. Although my arrows draw a little blood from the exoskeletal beast, I happen to be a damn decent shot. The fight quickly turns in our favor once I nail one of the beast's eyes. Just as quickly, it turns out of our favor as the smaller monster leaps from the brush and hamstrings Fulvia with its teeth. She shrieks in pain, dropping to one knee. Ivan and I let loose projectiles in the smaller monster's direction but fail to land crippling shots, letting the beast rush off once again. Shit. Claretta. Bulldreg shouts. I'm already swapping songs, pounding my chest plate 3 times to indicate a major injury. The damn little bastard tore a huge chunk out of the back of Fulvia's knee, hitting an artery and severing important muscles. Grabbing her onto the armpits I drag her back, only to watch Ivan turn around and barely dodge another attack from the little one. This is bad, very bad. I have to focus my attention on Fulvia's leg, though. When we get enough distance I put pressure on the wound and focus my magic in there, coaxing her body to repair the damage as quickly as possible. Ivan and Bulldreg are each stuck fighting their respective opponent alone, which is without question a losing battle unless I can get Fulvia back on her feet to finish off the big one. The little one breaks contact with Ivan, leaping at Bulldreg who barely manages to dodge it and the larger monster. Once again, the little one retreats, leaving half of us guessing on where it might strike from next. The battle carries on this way, and even once I get Fulvia back into the fray she's exhausted from the strain I put on her body by healing her that quickly. Little by little we wear down the huge beast, but more quickly than that, we ourselves are worn down. Suddenly, the big one lands a lucky hit, biting off Bulldreg's sword arm and a significant chunk of his shoulder along with it. With horror, I realize I can't save him from that. He's going to die, and after him the rest of us will too. Yet at that moment the little one switches sides, biting at the large monster's back legs. The giant turns its head to kick and Fulvia slams it in the flank, knocking it over. The small monster takes another quick pair of bites before scampering off. Fulvia follows it up with a powerful swing to pop the larger monster's head. Claretta. Fulvia roars. Get Bulldreg. He's dead. I answer, catching my breath. Where's the little one? Still. Fuck. Still circling around. Ivan hisses. I think it's making more webs. I thought you said nest weavers made the webs. Fulvia snaps back. Well, I thought incoming. Ivan turns and fires a shot, missing. The small, black-toothed monster lunges at him, taking a hand, a kidney, and scampering off before Fulvia or I can strike back. Ivan bites down a scream of pain, and once again I'm singing as fast as I can to desperately keep him from bleeding out. We have to move. Fulvia insists. It's just trapping us. Ivan falls unconscious in my arms, but I manage to halt the flow of blood before he dies. Fulvia scoops Ivan onto her back and we run, refusing to give up. Whatever these monsters are, we can't take them. Well, we could take most of them. Just not this one. There's no doubt in my mind it lured the large one on purpose, using it against us. And now, with our group's leader dead and our primary scout down, we don't have anyone that can spot and deal with the nest weaver threads. Just as I feared, I run headlong into a web. Damn it, but what are we supposed to do? If we had been slower, more careful, we would have just been eaten alive. I'm trapped now, though, and it's over. Fulvia tries to free me only to get caught herself. The nest weaver webs tangle us, and in an instant the black-toothed monster is on top of us, layering thicker strands from its forelimbs and binding us up. I stare with horror as it begins to feast, starting with Fulvia's foot. Despite its small size, it chomps through bone in a single bite. Lying bound on my back and waiting for my team to die, I do the only thing I can do. I sing. It's not a magical song, just an old favorite. I've always loved my talent, having blessed me with the kind of voice I need to make good use of it. I sing a song about a lark, a lone bird flying between the islands. Fulvia screams, and I close my eyes to sing louder, tears streaming down my cheekbones. What else is there to do? Suddenly, there's a pressure on my belly. Opening my eyes, I stare face to face with that grinning, ruthless monster, its black teeth stained red. Done with the others so soon, are you? I ask it. It tilts its head, naturally not understanding the words at all. Yet to my surprise, I hear a groan from Fulvia's direction. She's alive. I start singing again, this time a song of healing. The monster just sits on my belly, watching and listening. We're almost certainly going to die, but we're hunters, damn it. I'm not going to just roll over and let it happen. If this thing is full, we might have another chance. Her left leg is completely gone, though. I have magic to restore limbs, but it will take days of treatment. That wretched, six-limbed beast just lounges like a cat on top of me, watching with slow blinking eyes as Fulvia's bleeding ebbs and stops. Then it walks off my stomach and bites off my arm. All I can do is keep singing. Tope continued. Thanks for listening.